Well, two Hawaii Democrats running for the U.S. Senate have been busy traveling around the state and talking up their campaign.
Mazie Hirono and Ed Case appeared face-to-face for the first time this election season in a forum hosted by the Hawaii lodging and tourism industry.
Tourism is our #1 industry, and I have been a champion and an advocate for this industry for a long time. As a member of Congress, I signed on to the bill that ultimately led to visa waiver for South Korea. And Hawaii is reaping those benefits. I have a bipartisan bill called the Visit USA bill that will bring 300,000 Chinese tourists to Hawaii, spending $600 million to get our economy going, keep this industry strong, create 6,000 jobs.
The leading Democratic candidates for U.S. Senate squared off in the second of several scheduled debates, this time on Maui, focused on kupuna-related issues.
There are a number of suggestions being made, but I'll tell you one thing I won't do. I will not support privatizing Social Security. And I also won't support raising the retirement age. Here's what we can do. We should lift the cap on payments into Social Security. If we lift that cap, we can keep Social Security solvent for the next 75 years. That does not take away from any of the benefits that you all worked so hard and earned.
I believe that there is a place, as we did in 1983, to slowly adjust the retirement age up from 67, which it hits in 2027, and then balances out at that point. And I think that's a fair deal.
Tonight, Congresswoman Mazie Hirono and Ed Case faced each other in the Hawaii Public Radio debate.
This isn't about helping Hawaii, because I think it's true that any member of Congress can help his or her state, depending on their devotion to exactly what their job is in terms of helping the state. This is about national leadership. Strong, effective leadership takes a mainstream political philosophy, I submit, to solve our country's challenges. If you simply yell from the far left at the far right, nothing is going to get done to solve our challenges. And I'm asking you, can you get beyond that?
I don't think any of my colleagues hear me yelling from the far left. In fact, what they see me doing is working very hard every single day to get things done for the people of Hawaii. And frankly, that's what the people of Hawaii care about. They want somebody who is responsive to them, who listens to them. The people in Waimanalo know this. The 22ME program that I work with, this is a program that brings preschool to homeless kids living on beaches. You know, this is what I do. And if we're not focused on Hawaii, who are we focused on? We served in Congress for over 4 years as a representative for Hawaii's 2nd District. Can you let us know what you consider your top 3 achievements?
For my community, I believe very much in keeping in touch. And I did do 172 talk stories throughout the district, one-on-one community meetings, not just in Hilo, not just in Kahului, but Hana, Na'alehu, Hanalei, and on and on.
I think, of course, we all keep in touch with our constituents because that's our job. That lays the foundation for what comes next, which is listening to our constituents and then doing something that helps them.
Voters got a chance to watch senatorial candidates Ed Case and Mazie Hirono debate several issues tonight.
I'll walk across the aisle. I'll work with my own caucus to change their minds in support of things that are good for Hawaii. So on the chopping block, not that long ago, was an effort to totally cut out any support for Alaska Native and Native Hawaiian education grants. Very important to the Hawaiian community here. And that was totally zeroed out. So I got together with Don Young, a longtime Republican of Alaska, and we put in, an amendment, which I had to fight my own caucus for, by the way, to change their minds to support, and that saved the program. So Don Young and I definitely don't agree on a lot of things.
The Alaska-Hawaii.
Well, I don't agree with Don on a lot of things, but we care about Native Hawaiians and Alaska Natives. This is not about left or right. As far as I'm concerned, it's about right or wrong, and I'm focusing on doing the right thing for Hawaii. So in that regard, you know, my strongest accomplishments, and the ones that I'm really proud of, are the times when I brought people together to solve a problem for Hawaii. That's what I'm focused on. And the people of Hawaii, as I talk with them all across the state, want us to focus on jobs, getting our economy going.
Would you favor President Obama's American Jobs Act? Would you mind the fact that it would result in additional federal expenditure? You're a fiscal guy. Do you like that?
Well, I think that we've had two stimuluses already, one under President Bush and one under President Obama. I believe that we needed both of them. I didn't like both of them, and I thought that they busted our budget in many different ways, but I thought that the alternative of driving our economy into a very desperate situation was not acceptable and was going to make things even worse. So the stimulus packages to me were you know, the best of two evils. But I don't believe that we need, and I don't believe that we should have a third stimulus.
Yeah, we're still in the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. There are still some 14 million people who are unemployed in our country, some 40,000 in the state of Hawaii. And were it not for some actions that were taken to bail out the banks and to have the stimulus, our country would have gone over the cliff. Win or lose, my commitment to making a difference for the people of Hawaii, working with them, remains undiminished. And you know, as you probably know, I worked really hard on the governor's race, and what I learned from that race was to keep on going, because that's what I learned from my mom. And I talk about my mom a lot because she really changed my life, and she established my values. And those are values of work hard, never give up, keep on fighting. And so that's what I learned. And from that particular race, I learned how to win.
And you still maintain your support for the Iraq War. You would have supported it had you been in Congress. How do we know that you won't be fooled into an attack again?
Well, I think that's, first of all, a misconstrual of what I have actually said about the Iraq War. What I have said again is that the presence of weapons of mass destruction, or what we believe to have been the presence of weapons of mass destruction, with a dictator who wanted to use them, said he was using them, and had already invaded another country, was not acceptable to our country. And that's a judgment that many, many members of Congress made, including the leading Democrats in Congress. It was wrong because there were no weapons of mass destruction, and that was the mistake of Iraq.
On that information, his decision was to support that war. Our congressional delegation did not. Both senators voted against it, and so did Neil Abercrombie, given the same information. I did not support that war, and the cost to our in lives, injuries, continues.
I think we have demarcated the differences between the two of you. Mazie Hirono, why you rather than him?
There are differences between me and Ed in terms of the leadership style and the policies and priorities that guide our actions. So in terms of leadership style, I bring a collaborative leadership style. I will walk across that aisle with anyone, to talk with anyone, to work with anyone, to do what's right for Hawaii. In terms of our priorities and principles, there are differences. Ed would support raising the age of retirement for Social Security. I would not. He did not support Medicare Part D that millions of seniors in our country are relying upon, and of course I support drug coverage for seniors. He supported the war in Iraq. I did not. And all of the cost to our country in terms of lives, injuries, and our taxpayers.